IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Ultra Rising Collective. This is Lord Heka-blac, a.k.a. solraeljustice, a.k.a. Heka-blac butterfly. You already know who it is, man. It ain't no need for no introduction. Okay, Ashe, let's get it today. Shout out, happy Saturn Day from here all the way to Saturn, you dig? So listen, guys, this is a part 2 based on that last lecture I just uploaded. I know it sounded a little shaky because I broke up a few times, but it's all good. We're going to, this is all a part of the experience. You feel what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and bring in this number 2. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, your emails. If you're supporting by buying any books and any readings on my website, any T-shirts, things like that, hoodies, I appreciate you. With that being said, we don't have much time, so I got to get right into this energy. So the name of this lecture is Law of Attraction, How I Got in Jail, The Absolute Truth. Okay? So this is, I see the video that I had to do, so it's kind of long. So I had to give it to y'all in pieces, right? So here is part 2. And what I want to do is I kind of want to build on a little bit of what I was supposed to build on in the last one, but I didn't get a chance to. So I want to give you guys some real life examples of what I mean by artificial timelines, right? And I want to give you an example of using my own situation, because the best wisdom to share is the wisdom that you have experienced yourself, and there is no greater wisdom to share than that. So with that being said, we are going to reveal a couple of the truth. This is the absolute truth. Now, of course, the words won't be broken down in the way, where you just got to read between the lines, but I'm going to be as clear as I can about situations. I'm not giving you the surface level of why I'm in jail. I'm giving you the actual mechanics, the actual ethereal mechanics of how the hell I manifested myself in this reality. That's what I'm giving you, the science of it, okay? So now, based on the law of decision, every decision you make, timeline jumps you to a new reality, okay? Based on the law of attraction, when whatever you predominantly think about, you will attract to you. So it don't matter if it's the ego. If the ego personality has a stronger magnetic pull at that timeline than the higher self, then therefore you get an artificial reality based on ego personality. So when I say everything is divinely guided, right? Because how if everything is divinely guided, how is it possible for artificial timelines to manifest, right? This is a great question. Well, everything is divinely guided, right? Even the decisions that you make that the human mind can't understand why you made it, it's still for balanced purposes, right? So think of this situation I'm going through right now. It's happening for balanced purposes and for higher timelines to manifest and for me to access versions of myself that I never knew existed. Like, I've been unlocking parts of me that I never knew. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy that I would have never got it without this experience. So, right? So let's listen. Now, that's what I mean by everything happens for a reason, and everything is divinely guided. But how can an artificial timeline manifest? It's because my spirit team and my cosmic ancestors and my spirit team, they told me to go another way. They guided me. They didn't tell me nothing because it's me that makes the choices. But they encouraged me and guided me to go another way. They actually even gave me clear direction of which way to turn with my angel numbers and everything. And I ignored the signs and the signals, okay? So being that I ignored the signs and the signals, and I still didn't listen to my guidance that my team was projecting to me as their thoughts, I wasn't listening to my guidance. And anytime you don't listen to your guidance and don't trust your intuition, there is always going to be hell to pay. And I want y'all to know that. Always trust yourself and trust your intuition and live your life like everything depends on it. Your life, your reputation, your freedom. Live your life like like every day is the last. You feel what I'm saying? Do everything fucking to win. Right now, this is just what I've learned while I've been in here, right? So, being that they guided me, little story time. So, right around March 2024, I was at my 6.5-month celibacy, and I wasn't smoking or wasn't drinking. I was like 6.5 months off of smoking, drinking, but also off of celibacy too. So that I was in my higher energies, I was in my higher timelines, things like that. I started feeling a magnetic pull towards the past life timeline. I started feeling the magnetic attraction towards a past life reality. Now, what I mean by past life reality is this: every person is attached to a particular time space continuum, and a timeline manifestation of itself. Depending on who that person are and which self that person is operating out of depends on if it's a future timeline or it's a past timeline that manifests. For instance, if you run into a karmic, the karmic is a manifestation of a past life timeline. You see what I'm saying? Because the karmics operate out of their ego. The ego is an artificial reality, and it's a false personality timeline, okay? So if you choose to interact with that person, that is the karmic, if you choose to interact with them, you immediately activate a subtle agreement to basically create a black hole, right? Let's just identify the karmic energy as a black hole energy, right? And so you create it, and then when you agree to contact this person or place or thing, whatever is attached to that timeline, you're basically creating that moment. You're creating the past life, the black hole, right? So what happened was this: I was on 6.5 months. So by the time I got to 7th month celibacy and everything like that, I started feeling this pull. Now, I was already I was already communicating with a future divine timeline, right? But I wasn't grateful with that timeline, right? So my ego started to manifest as I am human and as this is a human perspective, right? Now, it manifested from the highest perspective based on balance. Me having to have balance and harmony within my reality, and me having to go through my higher self and my lower self agreeing that the lessons I will learn from out of this will expand my consciousness, right? So that's what it's all about, right? The human is really just along for the ride, but the human is the thing that triggers it, because the human can access and control or alter the quantum realities with its thoughts, its beliefs, and its actions. Okay, so once I made the choice, right? Remember, I was doing good. I was chilling with my future timeline. God and the intuition and the angels was like, you're doing great and everything. So I started feeling that pull, and I started kind of gravitating towards it a little bit. Not to mention, operating out your ego in Mercury retrograde is never a good decision to make, bro. Never is that a good decision to make. So what I did was I said yeah to the ego timeline by contacting this black hole, right? We're going to call the karmic a black hole. By contacting the black hole, that right there was me not listening to my guidance. That was me making a main cause decision. Once I made that cause decision, and I kept feeding it by doing certain things like keep talking to the karmic, right? When God say leave a person, place a thing alone, leave a person, place a thing alone, and they're telling you this for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So me not listening, I knew better than to be interacting and communicating with any karmics at this moment in space and time in my life, right? However, we all learn from our mistakes, and so I balance, right? Also, I have access to a higher version of myself in here that I've never knew existed. So there are some positives that came out of it, right? But I knew better, right? So to say, me being ungrateful, hopping in my ego, wanting more, because the ego want more. I already had something divine, but I was wanting more. And so I chose that timeline, right, by contacting the karmic, and the black hole is more and more I was talking to the black hole, more and more I was communicating with the black hole, the more the black hole was sucking me in. Now, at this point, you communicate with the black hole. Lord forbid you have any sexual connection with it, because now it's really pulling you in now. And so what happens from there is all future time-like events that can be effects to that cause that I've created. So from that one decision that I made that day to ignore my guidance and communicate with the black hole or the karmic timeline, soon I made that decision. That's when I activated all the artificial realities and side effects that come along with that. So once that happened, all the side effects like people lying on me, to be in jail, all the side effects, like that's just a side effect of a decision that I made. It was just in the same future time like possibilities. So, you know, your egoic behavior patterns, like this is the last of the final transferal integration of the egoic behavioral patterns. And based on this experience, my ego has me bent. You feel what I'm saying? My ego has me totally bent, and never again will I see. Now I know. Now I know what that feeling is like. Now I know what that full pit feels like, and I felt it the other day. Right? I felt it the other day. It's like like the ego wanted me to feed it some energy. I had to starve it. I starved it. I said, ego, I'm not giving you that. That's the same feeling I felt the day I got myself in here by calling the fucking karmic. You see what I'm saying? So y'all gotta understand, bro, that life is freaking beautiful. It is so brilliant the way it's set up, but you gotta combine everything in order to see the bigger picture. You gotta use physics, you gotta use classical physics, traditional physics, metaphysics. You gotta combine all of that shit up so that you can see, right? So that's the way how I'm able to still have peace in here, right? I'm able to still be grateful in here. Why? Because I can see the bigger picture clearly. I'm taking advantage of the situation no matter what it is. I know my heart. I know what's really happening. And so I want you to use my situation and to let it guide you, to let it show you the way. Read the energy. Let it show you in your life where things and cause and effects and situations could be occurring. And if you out there and you still communicating with karmics and God told you not to, I'm telling you, drop that shit and let it go. I promise you, you're going to be way happier you're dead. And if you out there and you got you a divine, high vibrational, true divine connection, hold on to it, man. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for it. Not in an egotistical type of way, but in a true love and genuine connection type of way, right? It don't have to be romantic. It can be platonic too, right? But with that being said, man, I love y'all, man, and I pray that this was able to freaking enlighten some of y'all, man, for real. You know, nobody is really to blame.